What's going on, everyone? Alex De Silva, happy as Larry Group. I hope you are well, and welcome to another daily dose of happiness. I just wanted to talk to you today. I want to be honest, actually. I want to share something that happened this morning. And I saw a post this morning on social media, and it kind of caught my eye. Two things, the kind of the typical headline, and it was a quote from the Bible, and it was kind of sort of around judgment, and then there was a picture underneath, and it was two gay men, white men, with holding a little black boy, but they were kissing him. It was a beautiful picture. It was actually very loving. Clearly, from what I understood, is that they adopted this little boy, and but the actual comment was, basically, I'm kind of paraphrasing, but it's basically saying that black men, have kind of let down, I guess, their own, because they're now being adopted by gay men, and these gay men are doing things to young kids, which I'm kind of paraphrasing, but that's basically what it said on there. And it kind of shocked me a little bit, because the individual I used to do mixed martial arts with this individual. They were a teacher, and and often or not, it just kind of really took me by surprise, because I didn't expect that from the individual. But it was interesting, because I then just read a couple of the comments, and then I just read a few more. And as you can imagine, a lot of people were upset by it and very shocked that he even posted something like that. And the first thing that popped into my head is like, oh wow, that's very unusual. I hope he's okay. That was my first thing. And as I read a few, I showed it to Lucy, and Lucy just said to me, just don't jump in a ring. I said, you know what, I actually had no intentions of doing that. It just caught my eye, and I then just wanted to see what the comments were about and his replies. So what I did is I observed. I just sat back and observed for a little bit. And I want to talk about that, just being able to observe things as they happen, instead of jumping in a ring. And I observed the comments. As you can imagine, people were offended. There were gay people there. There were black people there. There were men, women who were offended, and some people really didn't take kind to it. And then they were talking about religion as well, which, as you can imagine, that in itself then just created something else. But the interesting thing, as I kind of just observed and read through some of the comments, was that he was not backing down. He was not backing down, and he was quoting religion and saying that, you wait until judgment day, God will judge, blah, 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 Jesus, so on and so forth. And I just sat and carried on reading. And my reaction to it after was, okay, I don't want to sit in this. It's not making me feel comfortable. I unfriended and moved on. And just kind of moved away from the whole situation. And it sat with me for a little while, because I thought, wow, there must be something going on, because it's not a usual thing that I've seen from this individual before. And there was no judgment for me. Look, we're allowed to express ourselves. We're allowed to express our views. But what sat with me and what I wanted to share was that he brought up three very, very, key hot topics, and these topics have been topics for a long, long time, and for their own reasons. We were talking about, being gay, being a homosexual. They talked about, he was talking about, I wouldn't say kind of racist, but but he's black himself, so he was talking about this black baby, and then he was talking about religion, but none of it was around love. It was all around judgment, judging gay people with two white men with this little boy, and then talking about that God is going to punish them, and as you can imagine, the comments were on another level. But here's the thing. So what I want to share is look, we all go through our own personal things. We all go through our personal, turmoils and tough times and struggles. I don't know what he might be going through, but his reaction was, he got what he wanted. He wanted people to jump in the ring and have that argument and have those conversations, and he got it. He wanted some kind of reaction. He wanted some form of attention, and that's what he got. People jumped in the ring. But I think by sitting back sometimes and observing, I got to see the bigger picture, that there must be some kind of pain there. There's got to be something going on for somebody to be able to do that, and, to kind of throw that out into social media, to get those kind of reactions. And as you can imagine, he's probably lost quite a few friends off the back of that post. And that was this morning. There was over 100 comments on there, and they just kept coming. So I don't agree or condone with anything he talked about. I don't care whether you're white, black, Chinese, Italian, Brazilian, Polish. It makes no difference to me. My family, we have such a beautiful mix of, different cultures, and, and I love that. I love the fact that we are different culturally, that, that we can get on, whether you're, I have, my uncle's gay, I have friends who are gay and lesbian, and, and I love it. I think it's beautiful, and I think that's how the world should be. The world should be different. We are different. We are different people, and we should mix, and we should all come together, and we should all just love, regardless whether you're gay parents or whether you're straight parents. And, some people made a point where, there are some men, whether you're black, white, or regardless, that are not even there for their own kids, and that's the thing. And that's both mums and dads. So, it's one of these things, isn't it? Everything's kind of open to, interpretation, and we can all make our own judgment. But I sat back and I just made an observation. And what I want to share is today is, look, sit back sometimes and just observe and try to see the bigger picture in life. We are all allowed to express our emotions, our feelings, and what's going on for us. If you are struggling too and you want to express something, instead, be honest. Be honest about what's going on for you and what's really, really bugging you, because I don't think that was the real reason. I think there's something deeper in there. And not for me to judge, and to be honest, it's not anything that I wanted to get involved with, but it's a slightly different topic today. But I wanted to share that because I think we get so caught up in all of these things, even whether it's work or whether it's the government or whatever it is, we all have an opinion. But what's your opinion about you? What's your opinion in your life? What do you want to change about you? What are you not happy with? Because often a lot of the things that we focus on aren't really, they kind of just skimming the surface. Sometimes there is something which is a lot deeper. And I always talk about looking at the root of the problem. And I wanted to share that because, it's not very often, we see things like this on social media. I personally don't surround myself with people who post those kind of things on social media, which is the reason why I just unfriended them. And because for me, what's important is sending, the kind of the opposite message, which is love, kindness, tolerance, and compassion towards others, regardless to who they are. And which is what I've learned. And you talked about religion, and for me, as far as I understand, where religion is kind of all-encompassing. It talks about love, it talks about kindness and care and compassion, and we strip away the labels. When we kind of look at things from a spiritual perspective, we all want to achieve the same thing. And I don't want to kind of get into any sort of topics or debates, but I just want to share that for me, that's my personal message. Regardless to religion, regardless to anything. And I don't care whether you're Muslim, Catholic, whatever, whether you're just, spiritualist. It doesn't matter to me. I'll love you exactly the same, whether you're black, white, gay. It makes no difference either. I will still love you the same way. I will still care about you the same way. I will still serve you and help you the same way, because that's how I was brought up. I was brought up to understand that it doesn't matter. We are all the same. And I just want to leave it at that. So, observe things a little bit more, before jumping in a ring, and act with love and kindness, and sometimes, because these things can upset us, but it's not really aimed at us, it's kind of just, that person wanted a reaction and they got exactly what they wanted. But I believe that if we would have acted in a different way, we probably would have got a different result, but who knows? Listen, guys, as always, thank you so much for following, for listening, for sharing, for commenting on the posts. And let's continue to do that. Let's continue to really build, this community and, and this family. Have an amazing day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. And as always, be amazing, be fantastic, and be absolutely phenomenal. And I'll speak to you very soon. Take care.